What is going on, my folks? Here we are, just about to leave from Santan Valley so I can go camp in the Superstition Mountains. Only about 30 or 40 minutes away, but it's just going to be right off of Peralta Trail, so it's just myself for the evening. Going to plan on doing a good hike tomorrow along the Fremont Ridge to be able to get a good sight of Weaver's Needle, which is probably the most famous spot within the Superstition Mountain Wilderness. But I am looking forward to showing you the beauty that is this part of Arizona. Here we are, just entering into the state trust land area off of Peralta Road. This area is maintained by the state of Arizona and is some absolutely gorgeous camping areas. It's all dispersed, so there's no established campsites around, but what their lack of is in actual facilities for camping. The beauty of nature and the serenity it provides is amazing. I'm going here. It's Sunday afternoon. There's a holiday tomorrow. It's Veterans Day here, Armistice Day in Europe, celebrating our veterans and all that they have given for the service of our country. And this is just going to be a good old time. It's just myself, but as you can see in the background, these are the Superstition mountain ranges. So there is a multitude of 5,000 to 6,000 foot peaks in the wilderness area itself, but right about now we're at 1,500 to 2,000 feet of elevation above sea level. And desert type environment. We are in the Sonoran Desert. This desert is unique in that it does receive a pretty large amount of precipitation annually in comparison to other deserts around the world. So that's how we have such a large and diverse horticulture with our cacti, with our deciduous and our coniferous types of trees. So really an incredible area to witness. So I highly recommend, if you're ever in the Phoenix, Arizona area, to come out down Peralta Road. Well, looks like we are going to have to do a contingency plan. There's tons of spots that used to be available for camping, and now they're not. For whatever reason, I think probably out of the sake of habitat restoration, that this whole area is no longer available to camp at. I remember specifically last year, around this time of the year in Arizona, November through our winter, March, you could camp here. And all throughout the Peralta Road that led to Peralta Regional Park here. And now it's completely closed off, which is insane. I'll go ahead and try to show you exactly how they're closing it off, but they're putting in huge amounts of dirt and driving in wedges on the road, so it's making it very impassable. I mean, maybe a Jeep would be able to get there, and they put signs up specifically stating that camping is no longer allowed there. So, I mean, it just really sucks because this was such a cool spot to camp, and now it's off limits because a couple of people decided they wanted to trash it and make a bad rep name for the rest of us out here trying to enjoy nature. So, we're gonna go to Oak Flats, which is a nice camping area, technically still within the Superstition Mountains. It's right outside of Superior, Arizona, so follow me along. Okay, so try to find an example of the nonsense that they are doing here to make sure nobody comes and actually camps. So this is Peralta Road that goes to Peralta Regional Park, and here's a good example right there. So right there too, you see they dug it up in a way where nobody can get past, and they put up signs that state no overnight camping or no overnight parking or no camping. So they've really blocked in and said hell no to you guys being able to camp out here, which again, I mean, it makes sense because I've been out here several times. People don't clean up after themselves and they trash the place, and this is state land, the state can do with it as they please, versus, national forests, they have more resources to take care of and, use the land as they seek. But very disappointing. I mean, this place is awesome. We've camped out here for the past 2 or 3 years around this time of the year. It's been convenient. It's a quick experience, good little getaway. So I really hope that the state will allow people to camp, or at least, if there's not like designated areas or dispersed, which way they decide, because it's just so frustrating with how beautiful it is out here, and now we can't use it because some dumbasses. Anyway, all right, we made it to our spot. We're here at Oak Flat, part of the Tonto National Forest. This area is extremely gorgeous. This is the site we're going to be at tonight. It's backed right into the fire pit. This is a good dispersed camping spot. And the difference between there at Peralta and here is that this is very well maintained. People seem to take care of it. They actually clean up after themselves, and I mean, absolutely gorgeous. This area is just truly amazing. I think it's about 80 degrees right now, and it is 2:45, just about 2:45, and it's gonna get pretty cold tonight. I think probably 40s maybe, or 30s. I'm gonna go have to gather some wood here. We are surrounded by these Arizona oak. You can see their leaves are pretty telltale sign right there. Very wonderful shade giving tree. So that's just going to be the spot for the night. Gonna go gather some firewood and hunker down a bit. Extremely dry here. You can probably notice how easily I'm breaking apart these branches and how dry they sound. Hardly any rain this year for our monsoon, so we're really holding out for the winter time. I think they expect it to be El Nino, which means not optimal rain, drier, colder conditions. We're sitting at about 4,500 feet in elevation. So we've entered the chaparral region of the Arizona ecosystem. As we rise in elevation, the horticulture changes. here we have mostly oak, juniper, another coniferous style trees. A lot of the time people will think, oh, Arizona is just a desert, there's nothing else to it, but they would be sorely mistaken. There's a very large diversity of plant life here. Thanks to Dad here for getting me a nice portable chainsaw. It's been making getting firewood a lot easier than it has been in the past. So thanks, Dad, appreciate it. And yeah, we're starting to get a lot of wood here. Alright, got a bunch of firewood here. I think this will be enough for the evening. It's just myself, just need to cook and not really worry about staying warm. It's not going to get too cold tonight. And that's what good insulation for sleeping bags is for. So just going to hang out, probably grab a drink, eat a little snack, and I'll start cooking here as the sun begins to set. It's coming up on 4:30. So time's going by when you have fun like this. Just vibing out, having some appetizers, hummus and cracker. Sun will be setting in almost an hour, so it'll be pretty dark quick here. I have those mountains that'll cover the sun relatively soon. Again, just hanging out, chilling by what will soon be a roaring fire. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Got some coals going. Just gonna tend the fire. When you're cooking over a campfire, you want to make sure you're just cooking over the coals. They will retain the heat quite well, and it'll give you a more even temperature to cook versus trying to cook over a wide open flame. Learned that from experience, so hope that helps y'all out. Alright, we got ourselves some steaks that have been marinating a couple hours now. Olive oil, salt and pepper, and we got here wrapped up in some tin foil, some vegetables, so potatoes, onions, carrots, and bell peppers. We got a little hole right there, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll just make sure that side goes facing up. And we'll toss that over the campfire and have ourselves some good grill. It ain't Gordon Ramsay, but it'll do the trick. Still have our vegetables on here. I took them out of the tin foil. Decided to cook them over the pan just to get a nice good sear on them taters. Everything's looking good though. I'm excited. I'm just not going to wait for that steak though. It looks like it's darn near ready to be consumed. Yes, sir. Not sure what you would call this, but it's dinner. That's what I'm calling it. Just got all these mixed vegetables on top of my steak, and yeah, I'm really pleased with how it came out. Yeah. If you've ever been camping, you usually experience this once or two times. So your food will either get overcooked or undercooked, and I think just right here they got really done well. Steak's just chilling out underneath a mountain of vegetables. Remember, eat your veggies, kids. But yeah, that's dinner right there, buddies. So, bonjour, bon appetit. Had ourselves a nice dinner, enjoying the fire, praying, drinking beer. Typical country boy stuff. It's getting lower in temperature, but it ain't uncomfortable yet. I think the forecast on my watch is saying it's supposed to be getting about 50 or well, maybe high 40s, which with this setup should be just perfectly fine. We got ourselves a wool blanket underneath a probably 50-degree bag, and then a sleeping mat. It's served me well in a lot colder conditions, so, but always bring more than you think you need. That's what I've learned, at least in the past. So brought a ton of wool and base layers too, so it's gonna be a good night. I'm glad to be out here and be able to spend the weekend like this. So yeah. Alright, it's the morning after. I was brutally surprised by the fact that I do have to work today, Monday, November 11th, which is Veterans Day. So I had already made this plan and was out here. So I took off for the first half of the morning today. So I just got everything set up and packed away. Heading home now. It's about an hour for me to get back to Santan Valley. And yeah, we're gonna make it time to do some work. It's a Monday, people. Gotta get after it, even if you've been in the woods.